All right, onomatopoeia, poopy pants. Okay, that's my vocal coach told me to say it. So, all right, this is Flux of FluxWithIt.com, and we're here with Warmstar Electronics, and you've got some new modules here, and you've got some modules that just recently came out that I haven't even had a chance to do a proper review on yet. So, which that's coming. That's coming. The move is just about complete.
I'm glad to know that it is.
Yes. So, why don't you tell me a little bit about who you are and what you got going on here?
Well, my name's Bradford Kinney. I started out working for Delptronics, so I know you have a great relationship with. Mickey has helped me in spinning off to create my own modules. I have one that has shipped so far, which is called the BENZ. It's a voltage-controlled averaging matrix. So that can be used for a huge number of different things. You can use it like a VCA matrix. You can use it to make sort of like quadrature reflections of a signal.
Okay.
You can use it to take various interactions of signals and get different kinds of outputs inverted in different directions that you wouldn't get with the VCA. So you get like VCA behavior, but also inverse VCA behavior, but also inverse VCA behavior flipped over the zero line. It can be used to provide manipulatable offset voltages. It's a really crazy, complex utility. The actual functionality of it is very simple, but the outcomes in a modular system are very complex and very diverse.
Okay. Let's come over and take a look at the module. Now the module is right here. So this is the BENZ right here. And this basically what you're saying is it works time and space. And
alters your perception of reality. Essentially what it is 4 channels, each of which have an input, an inverted output, and an output, and then 6 control voltages which cause those channels to be averaged with one another. So for example, this one here is the AC averaging voltage control input. As the voltage to that jack rises, the A and C channels get averaged together. If you're using it to manipulate CV, that means that those 2 signals are going to get intermingled with each other. But if you are put one channel into an input and another channel into an averaging input, and then turn the second channel that you're averaging into down, it behaves a lot like a VCA. There are a lot of different behaviors that you can get out of that depending on how you patch it. But I pretty much described all of the actual functionality that provides the core of all these different applications. You also get a knob which attenuates whatever you're putting into it, and if nothing is provided at the input, 10 volts is the normalized input, so it provides 0 to 10 volts based on knob position. So for this one here, we have 3 different modulations which are causing several different offset voltages provided by the module to become averaged and unaveraged with one another.
now I'm going to ask a question. How do you feel about the learning curve on this module? When you're trying to describe all that, it sounds extremely complex, but when you're actually using it, how long do you feel like it takes you to become comfortable with that module?
I think that if you spend an hour with it and the manual, that although the implications are complex, the core functionality of it is pretty easy to wrap your mind around. And you'll pretty quickly be coming up yourself with the strange ways that these ability to take voltage interactions will work in your system and be interesting for you.
I can tell you the way that I've been using it a lot is pairing it with something like maths, where I'm sending it complex envelopes and modulations in that route, along with LFOs into it, and I'm causing pseudo-unpredictable movements for my filters and whatnot. Now, you have some filters over here, right?
Yeah, indeed. I have this Mountain filter and LFO, which I showed an earlier version of at NAMM last year. That is still not released, and the reason that it's still not released is we've decided to deepen our project with it. Mickey Delp and I are working together on that, and we've decided that it needs to have an interchangeable heart. So we're still going to provide this modulation interface on the front that is kind of the main part of what we thought made the project interesting in the first place. But behind the scenes, it's going to have a socketed brain so that you could use the SSM2044 filter chip that it was originally designed around, but we're also going to provide other filter chips on daughter boards which are interchangeable with that, so that you can not only choose what flavor of this filter and modulation module that you want, But if you wanted to, you could also even hack your own version, as we're going to make the spec available, or get a daughter board that someone else has made, or even use it as a development platform.
Very cool, very cool. Now we're going to go ahead and get some direct audio of this, and you guys can check it out. And then, as I said, the Benz module review will be coming soon. Is there anything else that we wanted to cover?
I actually do have one more module.
Oh!
It's this one here. It says Mix and Mult on the panel, but we've changed the name to AMA, which is Adder, Mult, and Amplifier. It just has 2 columns of 9 jacks, and depending on how you patch it, it either adds voltages, makes buff mult copies of voltages, or amplifies signals in multiples. So you could get a double the original strength of the signal, or triple or quadruple, and that's all controlled by how you patch it. And you could do a different number of any of those depending on what your patch needs. So you could take a sum of 2 signals, and then buff mult another signal, and then amplify a third one, or whatever was necessary for the patch that you were doing.
That's pretty useful, yeah. That's awesome. When will that be out?
That's going to be out really soon, actually. That's on about a 2-month timeline. It's pretty much done.
And do you have a price point on that?
I believe it's going to be $100.
And what about the Mountain?
The Mountain, we're not sure. That's on a longer timeline. And the Benz is already shipping, and it's $195.
That's right. All right. So this is Flux of FluxWithIt.com with Warm Star Electronics. So check them out.